So here is my ginormous mulberry tree. I planted this as a 6-foot stick almost 5 years ago, actually. I probably planted it in June or July of 2016, and this has been by far the most productive fruit tree we have. Every year it produces, and the last couple of years a lot. I think we got about 10 pounds of fruit off of this, and I'm going to show you. See, they almost look like mulberry fruit, but each one of those segments is a flower, and this tree is loaded. These leaves are young. They'll get about 3 times this size. I'm gonna see if you can see how prolific this tree is, just everywhere. And so they produce a pretty big fruit. It's the biggest of all the mulberries. They get about 3 to 4 inches long. I would say, yeah, I mean, sometimes you get 4 inch ones. Probably more like the 2.5 to 3 inches, kind of like the more typical size, but you do get bigger ones. It heavily produces, and it's nice. The fruit doesn't all ripen at the same time. You have a period of maybe about 3 weeks where you're getting fruit off of it, and it turns a really dark purple color. Almost looks like an elongated blackberry. And they're really good for fresh eating. You can make jams with them. I mean, you can kind of use them like you would any berry. And I really like it. It's a vigorous tree though, really big. I've read conflicting information about the size of these. Most of them say small, but I have read some that say like 40 feet, that they get really huge. And no joke, this thing is really huge already. It is over 20 feet, but prolific, and we love it. I don't have to water this. They're very tolerant of heat and drought. You don't need another one for pollination. We get really good fruit set on this. So I just kind of trim it. Well, I can't really trim it up top anymore, but I just kind of trim off any sort of dead or crossing branches, and that's about it. I got this one low branch here that will probably eventually come off. You can kind of see some of these smaller ones kind of died off on their own, but I think it's just because it's kind of shaded, is really kind of reaching for the sun. But on top of the fruit, it's a pretty nice looking tree because these leaves do get quite big. This is, maybe a third of the full size. So nice shade tree, and lots of nice fruit. I'll just come down. You can actually shake the tree and they'll fall off, and you just pick them off the ground. You can throw a tarp down if you want and shake them into the tarp, but I have some problems with the bamboo. They kind of fall in the bamboo, and I'm pretty sure people are going to be snacking on them off the sidewalk this year. But the birds will come in, but I find that the birds are not nearly as bad on these as other types of fruit. Like I have a cherry here, and there are cherries on it. There's some cherries right here. As soon as that shows a hint of color, gone. The birds will be wild on them. So we're gonna have to net this, or actually have quite a few cherries this year. But yeah, Pakistan or Pakistani mulberry, I highly recommend it if you can find it. I'm pretty sure this will grow down to zone 6. It is deciduous. I've read that in warmer climates it can retain its leaves, but for me it does drop them. Anyway, thanks for watching.